Oh, I wanted to ask you well, let's do this first. So what are you guys here for? What do you want to know about hypnosis? Before I tell you how to penetrate into your subconscious mind. What do you want to know? What brought you here?
I want
Especially those who are not hypnotists, I'm curious. Yeah.
I want to be able to use this with my children
Yeah.
without without me getting that mom stop therapizing me
Okay,
and the
perfect. I
eye
love it.
roll.
Okay, perfect. Excellent. Love it. It's a little tricky with you because they already know you're doing it, but yes, okay. Anyone else? What do you want to learn from this conversational hypnosis part?
For me, it's just that I've been in self-aware mode and trying to better myself in all the emotional ways, and I still feel that blockage of what you just explained before. It's like, okay, I know I'm reacting to the trauma. I know it's back then and there, but still my body does not automatically pulls itself to the place I
Good. That's
consciously understand perfectly. I know where it comes from. I know why I do it. I know when it happened,
when it doesn't
and
change.
it doesn't change.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a very
I
good
feel
one.
like the people that say that, "Oh, I've been doing a diet for 6 months and I haven't lost a kilo." It's like, yeah. So
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
something like that.
Okay, that's super helpful and very honest. So I can help you with that. Okay, so to talk to my family, to talk to my kids, to make them not think I'm therapizing them, to create actual change that's real instead of I'm on a pretend transformation path.
I would like to know more about it in general, for sure. Like, I'm learning a lot in this intro, but
Oh,
I think in my case, it's a lot of about stress management
okay,
too.
fair.
Um, yeah, to not always go to the worst case scenario, which I tend to do,
Yeah,
eventually causes me a lot of problems physical, right? So
yeah, exactly. That's right. Well, now at least you know a little bit more why. Okay.
I have have health issues, and especially the ones that are something that is in my everyday life, and I'm very conscious about it, is that I get migraines out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a lot of the times it's just I'm thinking too much about things, like my head is always
Yeah.
so just to sort of like learn how to manage a bit better myself, to ground myself, become more aware, and help me in those cases. Of course, there's so many other things,
Yeah.
my emotions and my physical. So I'm really interested in this course for sure.
Okay, and that's very helpful. So is it Tara? Tara? How
It's Teresa.
What is it?
They call me Tere, like in
Tere.
Swiss.
Okay, got you. So I just want to ask you a question about your comment. So when you say, well, my mind is always on and it never wants to take a
Yeah,
break, is that your conscious mind or your subconscious mind?
I think both. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, mostly my conscious, I think.
Yeah, usually the chatterbox part of our mind,
Hmm.
like, oh, I gotta go shopping. Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I'm gonna die soon. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I feel sick. That chatterbox is the conscious
Hmm.
mind. I'm not saying it's not motivated by the subconscious mind, but
Hmm.
we are listening and conditioned by these conscious thoughts that tend to be very repetitive and boring, right? So this is the right place to be because we're gonna now next talk about well, how do I penetrate the next level of that? Which will also answer your question, Perla. How do I get beyond recognizing my problems to actually accomplishing some transformation with them? Anybody else?
Yeah.
Hi, Maya. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm Juan. I'm interested in processing trauma
Yeah.
and accessing hidden trauma as well.
Okay. Thank you, Juan. I think that was one. Yeah. Anything else? So just as you,
Maya, it's Barbara. Yeah, hi. I would echo what I think it's Perla who said, the blockage. So it's like something that's just preventing you from being the better version of yourself that you know is there, but
yes.
it's sort of still a bit remote. So to understand what it would take to just knock down that wall.
I feel like we need to have an advanced level hypnosis for everyone for those few questions about trauma and, getting through that transformation wall. So, okay, now you've given me some ideas, but you are going to get an idea from the next 45 minutes about all of those things as well. Anybody else? Thank you for all of those. Lisa?
Me, I don't know if you can hear me because it's
I
really
can.
late in here. Because I use hypnosis professionally,
Yeah.
I would like to be able to use it more, not
Casually, right?
no, not casually, but I would like to, just be more aware when I'm talking to friends or family or my son or whatever, just in those situations, just become more aware. Because when I use it professionally, I'm kind of like, I know
Right.
when the session is and I'm kind of on, but I would like it just to become more natural in just day-to-day situations. And I guess be more responsive when I'm having conversations with people. So maybe my listening changes. Because I think when I'm working, my listening's full on, but sometimes in day-to-day with friends, maybe I'm not so, which I'd like to improve. So
I
yeah.
love that. Well, and that is the point of getting to know what a hypnotic approach is and what a hypnotic language is to make everything you say healing and therapeutic. So that anything you do, I mean, people all meet me all the time and say like, "Oh, I feel better already." Like, what the hell was that? And the truth is I didn't do jack shit, but the way I think and the way I act is naturally hypnotic because, as we know, that's what I do. So that is the idea, is for everything you say to become healing and therapeutic. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you are, even if you're at the grocery store checking out, it doesn't have to be just like, oh, here's my receipt, here's the thing. You can say something in that moment and create hypnosis in the cashier. So let's talk about it. How are we going to actually do that? Anybody else have any requests? Okay, so the magic of the mind. Are you ready? I'm going to talk about it in 3 steps, okay? So this slide here is step number 1. Hold a clean space. Anytime we're thinking about any kind of experience of the subconscious, what's going to happen is the subconscious person's mind in front of you, the mind of the person in front of you, which is subconscious, is going to connect to your subconscious, my subconscious, the practitioner or the person asking. So the very first thing is that connection has to be clean and clear. Right? So if you're already having a dirty experience of hypnosis, then you might go into a fight, or let's say with a partner or a lover, thinking, I want them to change. I want them to stop, I don't know, leaving their trash all over the house. So you already then have come into the trance dirty, so to speak. That's not the energy of acceptance. That's the energy of, I want you to do something. So that's not going to work. Okay. So this is a challenge because now I'm talking about like when you talk to your family, who you do have expectations of. Okay. So if you want to speak to them hypnotically, you're going to have to drop what you're coming for and come with this number 1 item, which is the energy of acceptance and safety. Same when you're talking in your own head, by the way. You're going to have a position of optimism. If you expect the outcome to be, go fuck yourself, I don't want to do that, then you're not doing hypnosis, you're doing regular conscious conversation. So if you come to the person with the expectation of what will usually occur, you're outside of the range of hypnosis already. Okay, so the energy of optimism is an intention and is a personal choice. How do you achieve that? You work on your own self. How do you achieve that? That's another course. Okay, but it's very important. That's funny, Jody. I saw you smirking. But that's very important when you start to work with people and be curious about people, is to have a posture of a hypnotist. So when people come to me, I use this exact same slide in my 101 class. This is what I am preparing for on my end. I'm preparing the energy of acceptance and safety, optimism. I'm creating rapport, which means I'm relating to you. If you're a very serious person, I'm going to be someone on my serious side. If you're a very lighthearted, funny person, I'm going to act like that. If you're a mom, I'm going to say something about you being a mom. So I'm going to have that rapport with you so that we can get our subconscious minds online together faster and more easily. I'm going to be warm and interested in you, but without investment, right? So if you come to your kids like with warmth, but also attached to the outcome, that's not hypnotic. For example, I've had kids brought to me, teenagers and teenagers who have addiction problems, right? So their parents love them and the parents love the kids, but they're attached to the outcome. So they're warm to the kid, like, oh, sweetheart, I love you. But also you better fucking stop smoking or you're getting in big trouble. We're taking away your car. But then you're attached to the outcome. That's not hypnotic. Why is that not hypnotic? Because the kid knows there's already a consequence to how I answer. There's already going to be something set up in the cards to how I answer. There's no space there. That's already closed. Do you see it? So what we're looking for is the open space. If you have a closed space, there's no space for trance. So if we're attached to what happens, we're already interrupting the client's ability to experience their own subconscious mind. So peaceful indifference is really what we're going for. Like, I don't care what this kid ends up telling me. I don't care if she ends up cleaning her room. You really have to be like that to get the outcome to where they do clean their room. Okay, so that's a challenge in itself. I always do matching, right? So it's like when you're in sales, sales is the same idea. You match the client. So when I used to sell houses, it was the same. Oh, this person's a hippie, so I act more like a hippie. Oh, this person is more, whatever, educated and higher end, so I act and dress that way. So we always want to reflect the client to themselves. Whoops. What happened? We skipped right to the end. Just a second. There we go. And then eyes, voice, and personality are hypnotic, right? Are not just the whole, this is my regular self, but we're going to use our sense of focus so that we're not confused or distracted from the client or the subject. So we're going to use our eyes to pay attention to them, keep focused on them. We're going to keep a hypnotic voice. Like if you start whining or you start yelling or you get mad or upset, that's not hypnotic. If your personality is ricocheting all over the place and you're just your regular mom self, that's not hypnotic either. Okay, so we're putting ourselves in a mentality and in a framework that's different than our regular life. Perla? Yeah, go
When
ahead.
we're trying to do this to ourselves, this applies exactly the same, or
Exactly the same. And why is that hard for you to think about?
I just cannot think of all these things that you said to myself, especially because I want the result, right?
Well, and so that's a good question. So like when you're approaching yourself in your head, if you are threatening to yourself, like if this doesn't happen, I'm going to be a failure, then what do you think your mind does with that?
Yeah, it's a failure.
What does it do?
No, I mean it's just gonna go to that place that I don't want to be there, right? I mean, I guess what you're trying to say is that we have to be very focused in what we want to obtain, not what we are fearful not to obtain, I guess, and in a calm
That's
way.
true. That's true. But really what I'm trying to say with this slide, and I'm glad you're asking for, what's the intention behind it, is if we're attached to the outcome, if we're attached to what we want to have happen, then we are closing the door on the possibility of change. So like we bullshit ourselves constantly, like, oh, I really want love, I really want self-love. I really want to love myself so that I can attract a partner. But then the next thing that happens is we yell at ourselves inside of our head. We withhold pleasure from ourselves. We work too hard until we're exhausted. But really what I'm doing is self-love. Like, no, you're lying to yourself. That's not what it is, right? That's judgment. That's pressure. So if you think of yourself in that way of if I don't get what I want, then I'm the problem, I'm the failure, then there's no space for the subconscious mind to move. What will happen is the subconscious mind will retreat from you and will say, hey, I know that you are already mad at me prior to me even giving it a shot. So get out of my way. And it'll just go back to what it's used to. So if we don't prepare ourselves with this detachment and with this curiosity and openness, then there's not even space to do what I'm about to tell you to do. I haven't even told you to do anything yet, by the way.
And I'm
Like
resisting.
that's true, but it's really important. And I set this up on purpose in this order because it's really important that the posture of the hypnotist and the space is allowed for hypnosis. And by the way, it's fun for me to teach this right now because it really gives me and you and some of my students here a sense of why this is not as easy as it looks.
Mhm.
Right? Because look at all the things I've already asked you to do. I haven't even started a session yet.
Yeah.
Like this is all me preparing how I come to the session. Nothing has even occurred yet with a client or with a real person, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of places to place your attention. There's a lot of places to examine your propensity to judgment and to bias.
Yeah.
So we really, 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 to achieve this, have to detach from our judgment of life and our judgment of what we expect from people and allow their subconscious to emerge. It's so important. And by the way, like if you're going to a party and you're going to use it in a party setting, for example, that's the point of it. It's not to achieve something or meet someone. It's to say, oh, I'm in a group. All these people have a subconscious mind. How can I invite and allow their subconscious mind to emerge so that we can all be more connected in the thread of life instead of, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, you're a doctor. Oh, that's great. Do you make a lot of money? Oh, great. Is it long hours? Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Or do you hate it? Do you own a home? Do you go up north? Like
Yeah.
that's what we really do at parties, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody cares about that. That's the conscious mind. Why are we
Yeah.
doing that? Why are we doing that? Because we're programmed to not go deeper. We're programmed to not investigate more. So this is the foundation is, are you really into this? Are you really willing to do that? Are you really open to that feeling? Okay, if you are, these are the setups.
Maya, it's interesting what you just said because you're trying to tap into something more profound with the people you meet at the party.
Yeah.
But when you do a session, you're detached and I've done a session with you, so I can feel that detachment. In fact, it was noteworthy for me. It was unfamiliar terrain. It's like you took me into a
That's
space that was very unfamiliar, but I was aware. So you were warm, but not warm, to be honest. That's how it felt to me.
Beautiful. That's so great. And that's such a great review of my service. And I'm really glad that you're open to sharing it. But
Mm.
let's now investigate that. Why? Why would my session be that way where I am warm, but not that warm? Why does that detachment, how did it feel to you? Let's do that.
How did it feel?
Yeah.
Well, well, it felt like it's something original.
Yep.
You know, let's say you go talk to a psychologist or something, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry you went through that."
Exactly.
And they're very empathetic and
And how does
compassionate.
that make you feel? Tell us that. When they get all like, oh, that sucks. I'm sorry that happened to you. Let me help you. How does that make you feel?
Well, it feels supportive, so it feels like you're less alone dealing with whatever you're dealing with. So it kind of feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. Um, but at the same time, you're like, okay, but I need constructive ideas from you to solve this problem. The compassion is great, but you want to feel that there's something
Wait,
going
let me
on.
ask you something. When you
Yep.
feel that compassion and support from a
Yeah.
practitioner, who do you think your mind thinks is going to come up with the answer?
Who do you think your mind was? Say that again.
Yeah, like when you're the client and
Yeah.
you go to a therapist who's super involved and super, invested and oh my God, then
Yeah.
what does your subconscious mind think will be the outcome? Does it think, oh, I'm going to figure this out on my own? Or does it think, oh, I'm finally here with a really good therapist who can do the work for me or help me do it?
I guess the latter.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Okay. So this is a super important distinction. Your conscious mind likes that because it's familiar. Oh, look, somebody's helping me. That's what I paid for. Your subconscious mind is not the same. And it thinks to itself, somebody wants me to change now. And it's not me. It's somebody out here who I don't know. And if the subconscious mind's program by default is, I want things to always be the same, I want things to always be familiar, then as soon as somebody sits down and says, let me help you, what do you think the subconscious does?
Well, this is just the same pattern.
Yeah, it's gonna, what's the pattern though? It retreats because it thinks, oh,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna mess with me now who I don't even know who they are and they don't even know who I am. So why would I feel comfortable with that? So that's the whole kicker with the detachment is your subconscious is the powerful entity. I'm not you. Even though I'm a great hypnotist and I have hundreds of success cases under my belt, I still am not you. If I pretend that I can help you, not knowing who you are or what you need, I'm now disempowering your subconscious from growing and living up to its potential. So the detachment is key, is super key because it's reminding the subconscious that it's not under threat, that it's not there for me to do corrective work with it. That is an extremely important feature, and I'm super glad that you recognized it when you came to see me and that you say it's unique because
Well,
it is
yeah, yes, and I would say the art of this is the warmth without the warmth.
Yep, I agree. Warmth without the word. There's going to be a little bit more to the art of it, but the setup, that is the art of the setup. Yes. And by the way, have you also noticed that I never pursue my clients after they leave the office? I never text you and say, did it work? How are you feeling? Are things going well? Same idea. Because if I start to impose my desire on your change, your subconscious will retreat from that. So I tell people all the time, you can contact me if you want to give me an update, but I'm not going to pursue you. Because if I pursue you, your subconscious feels that pressure. Same problem in our daily lives. Oh, I want my kids to clean their room. So we come up with some scenario that's like, well, if you don't, then this. But then the subconscious is already cornered. Why would it change? Why would it grow if we already cornered it into staying the same? So anytime we put like a expectation or pressure or demand a result, we're saying to the subconscious, too bad for you, not today. Which is how consciousness is evolving. We are evolving in that direction to say, well, if it's the conscious thing, we'll go in that direction and there's nothing else. That's why mind control is so easy for the government and for the media because we're not even aware that there's another level behind this. So whatever they're telling us to believe, we're doing it on a conscious level, not even knowing that our subconsciousness is being threatened. So that's the whole idea here is, okay, I'm becoming more aware that my subconscious is childlike and juvenile and immature, and that if I tell it that it's on the spot, I've lost the game to begin with.